And welcome back to Evergreen Speedway. Steve Mortland here along with Jeff Knight, getting ready to bring you heat race number 2. And with that, we're going to introduce to you the Pro 4 Trucks heat race. 8 laps coming up. Here's Jeff with the lineup.
Absolutely. Row 1 on the inside, starting on the pole, is Shane Green. Outside of him in the 98 is Christopher Wisman. Row 2 inside, 53 of Doug Wilkinson. Outside of him, the 2J of Caden Holm. Row 3 inside the 4 cars, Pete Brady. And outside of him is the 22 of Jason Majors.
All right, thank you, Jeff. And boy, I tell you, there is a ton of talent in this 8-lap heat race for the Northwest Pro 4 Trucks. Not necessarily a new division here at Evergreen Speedway, but they've kind of adopted this place, and they race a ton here on the 3/8s.
Oh, looks like we got one turned around here on the pace lap. It's definitely slick out there, and got some rain coming down, so we'll get it all sorted out here and get the lineup going back for one to go one more time.
Yeah, you know, this, Jeff, is another one of those classes where you've got a lot of family participation. The Wilkinsons, we'll see Doug in the 53 truck, as you mentioned. A couple of sisters run in this. They have just taken this class over. Shane Green and Aaron Green out of Lake Stevens. Those two are to watch those two battle, and I hope that we get a chance at some point to see those two go at it, because boy, they put on a show.
Absolutely. I can think of Doug Wilkinson has raced so many different cars out here, from late models to demo derby stuff to figure 8 cars. I've seen that guy strap into just about anything with a steering wheel.
Yeah, and he's been amazing. And the whole Wilkinson family has been amazing. And talk about the history of Evergreen Speedway. From his mom, his dad was out here for years, and Doug has raced in figure 8s forever and really taken a shine to these Pro 4 trucks.
Absolutely. And shout out to the Popeye Energy truck there, Jason Majors. Popeye Energy drinks are phenomenal, and Jason he's stout.
He's a big boy. He is.
He's stout in this program. Wins a lot of races, and always runs quick.
Yes, he does. And you'll see him throughout the season. He's got a Ford Mustang that is just as nice as his number 22 Pro 4 truck, and I agree. It's good to see Popeyes on the side of that as they're getting them straightened around. As we mentioned earlier, these guys have toured quite a lot since the inception of them, and a lot of guys. Pete Brady is one that comes all the way over from Eastern Washington to race.
Right. That is. Touring around in a race car is one of the funnest things you can do. You load up the car, you get all your friends, get your crew together, you go to different tracks, and it's always a blast to try to tackle a new track. And so it's always great when the guys from Eastern Washington come to Western Washington and the guys from Western Washington go to Eastern Washington. It's a good time. Yeah,
Jason Majors, he comes over, he lives over on the Olympic Peninsula, so yeah, they put an awful lot of effort into it. I love the 2J truck, of Caden Holm. That thing is sharp.
Absolutely. It looks good. Comes from a racing family as well.
Yes, he does. He does. So here we go. 8 laps coming up. They're getting them lit up, getting them wound up. As we mentioned, Shane Green and Christopher Wisman on the front row. Green flag out. They're going to take it into 1 here on the 3/8. And Green with a bit of an issue as they came off. Looks, they're under full sail. It takes them a while to get wound up, but the outside line really taking charge.
Absolutely. I think that the wet surface plays a role in how quickly you can get back to the throttle. You get back to it too soon, well, you get some wheel spin, just like here, just like the 2J truck, and you're going to go around.
Yeah, and
looks like the caution's coming out.
And one thing that you got to keep in mind, these things are rear-wheel drive too.
They are. The Hornet division, which we just saw, a lot of those cars are front-wheel drive. The Pro 4 trucks rear-wheel drive. So think of driving in the slick snow and smashing the gas as hard as you can.
And no weight in the back. So it takes an awful lot of finesse and a very, very touchy throttle foot to get these things to go the way they want. But man, on a dry track, tires get hot, track is sticky. These things put on a show, and you guys will see it throughout the season. But so good to have the Northwest Pro 4 trucks with us.
Fantastic shot of the pits right there. You got the Pro Late Model teams up on the high bank of the 5/8 mile. The 5/8 mile, some of the greatest racing in the Pacific Northwest happens on the big track multiple times a year here at Evergreen Speedway.
Yeah, there's been some legendary race cars on that 5/8 track, and Jeff, you talk about the 5/8s, but when you are on the 3/8s, this thing is a really difficult track to really get to know. It seems simple, but there's so much to it.
Well, it's really fast, it's long, and it's got flat corners. And I have enjoyed spending a career racing on the 5/8s on the large track. And it's a challenge every single time. Seems like every year the bumps get a little bigger and the asphalt wears out a little bit more, which, for drivers, we kind of like that.
Yeah, it does. It takes a toll, but it makes you a better race car driver. And that's kind of what these guys are out to do. So let's see if we can get these guys lined up. You see another great shot. A lot of people in the pits. They're all at the north end of the at the facility, and a lot of people in there and doing their best to stay dry and to keep the excitement level up. As we see, they're still going to kind of keep them.
Looks like one to go
down.
Right there.
Yep, good job.
Looks like one to go. And flag stand. The flagger over there holding the green flag, they're giving hand signals to the drivers out the windshield. So they're letting us know to grid up, get side by side. And then they're also letting us know one to go. And also you'll notice that often the yellow lights around the track, they'll shut off when it's one to go, which means we're going racing next time by.
All right, here we go. It's going to be Shane Green, I believe, has already left the track. He kind of came into this a little bit wounded, so we'll see how they go. Green flag out. We are back underway as they head down into turn number 1. The 98 truck of Christopher Wisman with a nice jump, and boy, what a save. Holy cow, that thing is all over the place coming out of turn number 2 and down the backstretch into turn 3. Let's see if he's can maybe tone it down just a little bit, see if he's got a nice look. Oh, beautiful save, boy. What a slide job coming out.
We're drifting the Pro 4 trucks in the lead here.
All right, we got one lap down out of 8 for the Northwest Pro 4 trucks. Good side-by-side action. Jason Majors down on the inside. Doug Wilkinson really gets a nice run off of turn number 2. Jason Majors kind of had to get out of the throttle a little bit. Looked like in between 1 and 2, but he'll get that thing gathered back up and sliding all over there. Wisman has a nice job keeping on to that truck. But Doug Wilkinson, as he often does, in the lead.
Yeah, Wilkinson is definitely using his experience here from all the different types of disciplines he has. Because it looks like he's found his way to the high groove. And one of the secrets running in the rain around here is the top of the track dries off quicker than the bottom of the track. And so you'll see these guys moving up all night long so they can find that grip.
Wisman in the number 98 in the 3rd spot. Jason Majors, you see a nice shot of him going into turn number 1. You see a lot of J2 Racing, humongous supporters out here at Evergreen Speedway, a local business that really pours it back into the track.
Yeah, it looks like we're working lap 3 right now. Good view there of Christopher. He's working it, trying to keep that thing going straight. It is really loose out there.
Yeah, this guy's got a lot to keep track of. Doug Wilkinson with that shark car in the side of his truck, gray truck. Here comes Pete Brady out of Ellensburg, taking a look down on the inside here as we're halfway through our 8-lap heat race for the Northwest Pro 4 trucks. Brady taking a... Yeah, there's the J2, I'm sorry, as they come out. Boy, the 98 is going to loop it around. Christopher Wisman.
Full pirouette right there.
Beautiful job.
Let's get her going here. Let's see if he gets it going. Man, I really like the look of Pete Brady on that last lap as he was coming off of turn 2. I think we're going to have a battle up front here if we get a restart. Yeah, it looks like the caution's out, so we'll get them lined back up.
So we made it a little bit over halfway for the first heat race of 2020 for the Northwest Pro 4 trucks. As we mentioned, Shane Green was in this to start the race. The 98 you just saw that brought out the caution, Christopher Wisman. Doug Wilkinson is your leader in this one. 2J of Caden Home. Pete Brady, who Jeff had mentioned, starting to look really sharp out there as he's gotten a nice handle on a wet racetrack. Jason Majors in the number 22 truck as with the Popeye on the side. And you see Jeff had mentioned those little flashing yellow lights that you see. Once those go off, we'll get them lined back up and get them back underway. Doug Wilkinson now, as he'll lead them. One more lap to go. Looks like the lights are shut off.
Lights are out. Yep, lights are out. We're going to go green next time by here. Doug Wilkinson, though, using his experience, you gotta give it to the veterans out there. They get cagey.
Yep, they do. And Doug, like we had talked about, a lot of really a lengthy career and a lot of success in the figure eight division. So he's really good at going right too when he needs to. So he can get that thing straight and back out. Pete Brady in the white number 4 there. You see him getting lined up, and the green flag is out. We're back underway with a nice run on the inside. Here it comes, the number 22, Jason Majors. 3 laps to go in our heat race for the Northwest Pro Ford trucks. Majors on the inside as we see a nice shot of Pete Brady running the middle groove, but boy, it is nice, tight action up front. Majors on the inside, Wilkinson up on the outside, and these two have had some fierce battles over the years in this Pro 4 truck division. Majors taking a nice deep dive into turn number 1. As we've got a couple of laps to go, Majors now as he'll take it out at turn number 2. Down the backstretch, Pete Brady now about 5 to 6 truck lengths back behind the 53 of Wilkinson. And boy, Doug just really gets a nice run going into 3, but Majors just a tick better coming out of 4.
Man, they're having a good time right now. Caden Holm just turned his quickest lap of the race there just a lap ago. We're working lap number 7. Looks like Jason Majors is going to get this thing in control. Yep, there he goes. He's going to get the position.
All right, you saw the white flag as they came around. Look at Wilkinson now working it tough up on the outside. Majors down on the inside. Pete Brady in the back there. See how it's going to go. Majors out of shape. That win will go to Doug Wilkinson. Boy, you can just tell Majors gave it everything he could coming out of turn 4.
That was a lot of fun.
And coming up next, our first NASCAR heat race of 2020 with the NASCAR Mini Stocks. And this is going to be a great field, 8 laps coming up.
Absolutely. The NASCAR Mini Stocks are one of my favorite classes out here. I've been watching them since I was a boy coming to this speedway. Used to be called the Foreign Stocks. Great class of cars.
Yeah, and a lot of history, a lot of great drivers. And another one of these classes where these guys learn a lot of car control when they move up.
Absolutely. Majority of these cars, front-wheel drive, some of them rear-wheel drive. You'll just notice about how they get out of shape in the rain.
You certainly will. All right, let's bring the lineup to you. Into number 97, starting on the pole, a longtime campaigner in this division. Another one of those a lot of history with the Barbers here at Evergreen Speedway. Nat Barber. Outside of Nat, new young man to this mini stock division, Cole Reardon in the 4. Dylan Bewalt in the number 29 car on the inside second row. Outside of the 29, the 19 of Thomas Stafford. Then we move back to the 521 car of former champion in this division, Mike Jensen, and then outside of Mike in the 13, a longtime campaigner, Doug Hines in his Datsun. The number 94 of Brandon Brock, and the number 5 car of Brad Thomas. And as we had talked about, Brad fighting a really temperamental race car tonight.
A lot of champions in this field. You got Nat Barber's a former champion in this class. You have Mike Jensen, who won the Hornet Championship in 2018. Cole Reardon won the Hornet Championship in 2019. You got last year's Rookie of the Year, second in points, set the track record in qualifying. It's a good field of cars right here.
It's a great field of cars. And these cars, they really do well on a wet racetrack, as you're going to find out. Hopefully, they're going to prove me right as the race goes on. But again, 8 laps coming up, and see the windshield wipers going, so defrosters are on, but a really sharp-looking field of race cars.
The lights are out at the speedway, so we're going green next time by here. Guys are reaching up real quick. They're checking their belts, pulling them a little tighter, making sure that wheel's on good and steering wheel's on good and solid, and getting ready to go green.
Nat Barber in the 97 and is, like I said, a lot of family history here at Evergreen Speedway. Many-time champion in this division, and here they come. They're getting lit up, and the green flag is out. We're underway here in our NASCAR mini stock main event here at heat race here at Evergreen Speedway. Nat Barber down with a nice run on the inside, a little bit high coming out of turn number 2, but he'll recover nicely, and they are off down the backstretch. So look at that run by the 521 of Mike Jensen, always fast. Slip up a little bit by the Barber in the 97, and he will end up in second spot as they come off of turn and heading into 1 on lap 1.
Oh, getting a little free there up front. Good car control, though. He's got it saved. It looks like the weather's been coming down a little harder, little rooster tails coming off their tires. They successfully navigate a lap and a half. These things are hooked up best they can be in the slick conditions.
Boy, it looks good as they come out at turn number 4 to complete lap number 1. Lap number 2 coming up as they go under the flag stand, and here they come into turn number 1. The 4 car of Cole Reardon looking mighty sharp with he knows who's behind him, and he knows that Nat Barber has a ton of experience in all type of track conditions, but a good looking run early on by Cole Reardon in the 4.
Yes, the cars here that are front-wheel drive, I have a good friend that I went to high school with that won a championship in the mini stocks back in the day, and he said when it gets loose like that and starts sliding, the way you fix it is you just stomp on the gas and ask for more power.
Yep, and with front-wheel drive, it'll pull you right out of it, too. The nice run by the 19 car, Thomas Stafford on the inside, as Dylan Bewald up on the outside. Those two are having a blast and a nice run as they are in between turns 3 and 4. But as we come out here, we're finishing lap number 3, getting at the halfway point here for the heat race for the NASCAR mini stocks.
Yeah, Cole, he seems to have this race in hand right now. He's really handling the slick conditions well when that car in the lead gets out of shape. Got a good battle for second here, though.
Check out the 19 of Stafford as he's gotten underneath the 97 of Nat Barber, and he's got Dylan Bewald now tucked off of his right hip as they come into turn number 1. Cole Reardon up ahead by about 7 to 10 car lengths as he is coming nicely out of turn number 2 as we are working lap number 5. Nat Barber took a look down on the inside of Stafford as that white number 19 car. Boy, I like that one. It's easy to spot on any type of racetrack. As laps are winding down, it is the number 4 of Cole Reardon in the lead.
Yeah, the 19 here, Thomas, he's come from, he started, I believe, in row 3, and he's working his way to the front, and it's slick, and it's out of shape, but he's got real good handle on his car, and he's actually reeling our leader in.
He is, as he takes the high road coming out of turn number 4. One thing you're going to notice if you stick with us all season long, it's so interesting to watch the different ways that these guys get around the track. We're on the white flag lap right now. Stafford is going to take a look up on the outside as they head down the backstretch. Cole Reardon, and man, what a blast going into turn number 3. And that could have sealed the deal for him as they come out of turn number 4. It will. The win will go to the 19 of Thomas Stafford, and a nice run. Well done as he came through from the pack and picked up the win. Impressive run.
That way he drove that thing into turn 3, it earned him the win, but it also earned him the fastest lap of that heat race, no doubt about it.
Very well done. He's going to be one to watch. We'll be back with more here at Evergreen Speedway.